quite a bit. So we're going to let this cook for 2 hours. And how we check the heat is put our palm underneath. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. On that third count, you want it to be too hot for you to keep your hand there. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not hot enough. So because I baked and cooked another bow, I added more coals, and the coals will catch. It'll get hotter. 1, 2, 3. That's hot. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's how you. That's how Keith Shannon came up with the correct height for the heat. You put your palm underneath, and on the third count, you want to pull your hand away. It's going to be too hot for you to hold there. You got to have common sense. You're not going to burn your hand. Okay, but you can't measure from the coals to the bottom of the limb because things affect it, like temperature, wind. Okay, you can't use a thermometer. As you get close, you feel the heat. The thermometer will just keep shooting up. So the thing to do is just check it with your hand, but have common sense about it. So this had like 40% moisture, and I figured it has 10 now. We're going to cook it. We're going to cook it a couple hours, and maybe we'll even cook it tomorrow. But this is going for 2 hours tonight. I'll put it up every half hour because you've seen so many of my fire hardening videos. I'll put it up every half hour and show you what the bottom looks like. Be honest, the first half hour, I don't even expect to see any color. There's so much moisture in here. Okay, besides adjusting the temperature, there's a couple of things that you need to have. One is a stick. The stick is for leveling out the coals, knocking off ash. You're going to be using this a lot. The other thing is heavy fireplace gloves that I have over there. And the reason for it is that wood combusts at around 300 degrees. Different woods, I believe, combust a little sooner sometimes. But fire hardening takes place around 240 degrees. But once your stave, your bow blank dries out, once you got a good cook on it, if you're moving it, you know, for the heat purposes up or down, and you fumble, and this dried out wood hits the coals for more than a second, it could spontaneously combust. Poof. So you have to grab the clamps and try not to get burnt and pick it up. But if you move it when you have the fireplace gloves and it slips, you just grab it and pick it up, and it's not a problem. So it's a little inconvenient, but it's worth the trouble to put the fireplace gloves on when you move it. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that check the clamps and check them often, because especially something like this that was saturated, look, it's turning already. It's been on here not even 5 minutes, and look, it's shrinking, and the clamps are tightening, okay? So constantly check the clamps, constantly check your heat. If you put new coals on, expect those coals to get hotter, and you got to check the temperature, and you're going to have to raise it when they all catch. Okay, every half hour I'll show you until it's done. We're at the half hour mark, going to the right. It's a little color. I'm surprised that we actually got some color. Going to the left. We got some color. It's cooking pretty good. Okay, you always got to keep tightening the clamps, especially on wet wood. It dries up really quick, so I tightened up the clamps several times. I knocked the ashes around with the stick. I got more coals on, and I'll show you at the hour mark what it looks like, but so far so good. We're at that hour mark now. We're going to the right, and we got a lot of nice color going all the way down to the end. Going back to the riser, we're going to the left. And we got color in the fade out. Going down to the left, looking good. It's the hour mark. At that hour mark, I always move the clamps over like an inch. It's mostly for aesthetics. This way, where the clamp was covering, those white spots are, they'll get colored. But I believe the fire hardening will go around the clamps regardless if you move them or not, because it's the temperature. but something I do at the hour mark, I move them. I've been adding coals and tightening the clamps, knocking off the ash every step of the way. We're almost at that hour and a half mark. We're going to let this go for as long as I can. We're at the hour and a half mark. Got color in the fade outs going down to the tips where the clamps were, getting a little darker. Going to the left, color in the fade outs. Need a little more color in the tips. Looking good so far. Oh, wonderful. We got a little rain coming, a little sun shower. Hopefully it'll pass. Got to take a break for a sun shower. Hopefully it'll pass. Hopefully the coals don't go out. So we had about 10 minutes of rain and it stopped. And I was able to knock around the ash and the coals and get them hot again. And we're going to let it go. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. Got about 10 minutes for that 2-hour mark. We're going to let it go at least another half hour. Here we are at the 2-hour mark. Going to the right. We have that dark color going down. Almost to the tip. Going back to the left from the riser. Going down to the left. We've got color in the fade out. Going down. Almost to the tip. Knocked around the ash, got it down, checked the temperature. We're going to go for another half hour. 2.5 hours at least. Holly bow. This is the second holly bow I'm making. This one was saturated with water. It was the heaviest log I ever dealt with. Took me 3 days to get it out of the woods. So we let it cook for 2.5 hours and it looks pretty good. We're going to let it cool. We're going to see if it took some back set. And once again, if I'm tillering this and it looks like the tiller don't hold up, I may fire harden it again. So we'll see. Well, we have some back set. This stave has twists and bumps and depressions, and I expected a little spring back. We got a little back set going on. Let's see what it looks like this way. Okay, we got some back set. Even though this was soaking wet, we're going to still hydrate it a couple times tonight. Here, let me show you the fire hardening. Really nice fire hardened, even in the fade outs. Okay, let me show you the back of the bow that's away from you. Look at the dips. Look at the depressions, the knots, right? The ups and downs, the bumps, the humps. Okay, there's a lot of them on this. Dip down on this side. Okay, and when I tiller this, I'm not going to look at the back. I'm just going to look at the belly with a yardstick and get it to bend with the yardstick. I'm going to just get the back of the bow out of my head. Okay, so next time you see this, it'll have buffalo horn tips and it'll be on a tillering tree, and we're going to try and get it to bend without breaking. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. I suggest you go to Shannon Outdoors and buy his fire hardening DVD. It opens up a big world for you. If you do your own bows, you're able to go out and try different woods and fire harden them, right? So every day you get up is a great day. Okay, go out and shoot, make a bow. Hopefully this one will make a bow. We'll see when we tiller it. Next video.